If you're deciding between Castro Valley and San Leandro, you've probably heard people say they're basically the same. Right next to each other, same part of the East Bay, similar vibe. But after 23 years of selling homes in both these towns, I can tell you the market disagrees. Castro Valley costs about $250,000 more than San Leandro right now. And here's the part almost nobody gets right. That gap is not really about which town is better. There are neighborhoods in San Leandro that cost more than Castro Valley. So the question isn't which one wins, it's what that $250,000 is actually buying and whether you're the buyer who needs it. So let's start with Castro Valley's median sales home price. The median home price right now is around 1.1 million. San Leandro citywide median is around 850,000. Why the gap? Castro Valley is basically all single family residential. It's a bedroom community. San Leandro is a real city, so that citywide number includes condos, smaller homes, neighborhoods at every price point. So it pulls the median down. But here's what most people miss. If you look at the San Leandro neighborhoods that people actually compare to Castro Valley, I'm talking about Estudio Estates, Bayou Vista up in the hills. You know, those are the ones with those amazing bay views. Those neighborhoods are running around 1.2, even 1.4 million. So when you're comparing apples to apples, established neighborhood, good lots, nice street, that gap shrinks fast. And in the hills, it can flip. What that tells you is this: San Leandro gives you range. You can get into San Leandro in the 700,000s and 800,000. You cannot really do that in Castro Valley with a single family home. Castro Valley's floor is just higher. And inventory is tight here because people don't leave. That's not a sales sign. That's just what the market looks like. And hey, real quick before we get into the neighborhoods, people watching these videos reach out to me every single week. And every situation is different. Different budget, different commute, different kids' ages. So if you've got questions, shoot me a text, an email. Tell me 2 or 3 things you love and 2 or 3 things you can't stand, and I'll point you at the right 2 or 3 neighborhoods. That's literally what I do and my team does every day. And while you're at it, grab a free East Bay relocation guide in the description. Every area from the 880 corridor out to the Delta, price points, commute realities, all of it is in there. Okay, so let's talk about what Castro Valley actually gets right, because there's a reason that floor is higher. Number 1, schools. Castro Valley Unified is rated A, and it's consistently one of the top districts in the East Bay. For a lot of families, that's the whole ball game, and I'll come back to it. Number 2, it's an established community with real character. Mature trees, neighborhoods where the same families have been there for decades, kids who actually roam the neighborhood. I discovered this town mountain biking out in Lake Chabot when I used to live in the peninsula. That first impression, quiet streets, hills, room to breathe, that's still what it is. Number 3, location. You've got your own BART station, quick access to 580, 238, and 880. And here's something most people don't know. Back roads access to San Ramon and Danville through Crow Canyon, and back road access to Union City and Fremont through Palomares Road. If you commute to the Tri-Valley or down towards Fremont, those back roads are a legitimate advantage. And you've got range within Castro Valley too. The established core in 94546, and then the newer planned communities like Five Canyons and Palomares Hills out in the 94552 zip code. Now let me be straight with you about the cons, because there are cons. Castro Valley doesn't have a real downtown. Castro Valley Boulevard is functional. It gets the job done, but nobody's calling it charming. It's car dependent for most things. And here's one that surprises buyers. Castro Valley is unincorporated. That means county governance instead of city government. For most people, it's a non-issue day to day, but you should know it going in. Okay, now San Leandro, and this is where it gets interesting, because that lower median price, it does not mean San Leandro is the lesser option. It means it's a completely different kind of place. Here's what San Leandro gets right. You've got actual waterfront, a marina on the bay. You got a real downtown that's been revitalized with restaurants and things actually happening. It's more walkable overall. You got 2 BART stations instead of 1. It's more diverse and the neighborhoods have genuine character. Estudio Estates has some of the prettiest streets in the East Bay. If you like Burlingame, those kind of craftsman style houses, you're gonna like Estudio Estate. And here's what people completely miss about San Leandro. It's got hills too. Bay Bayou Vista sits up in the rolling hills on the east side of the bay. It's got bay views, generous lots, quiet streets. Okay, take a look at this view. This is San Leandro. Pretty much everyone thinks that San Leandro is just the flats. Look at that. This is the hills of San Leandro. People drive past San Leandro on 880 and think they've seen it. They haven't. You're getting more urban energy without urban prices up in the hills. You're getting views that Castro Valley mostly can't match. I mean, we do have views also. Now, the cons. San Leandro is still fighting an outdated perception from sitting in Oakland's shadow, and that perception lags reality. The schools don't rank as high as Castro Valley's. The district grades out lower, and I'm not going to dance around that. Some areas are still transforming, so you really have to know where you're buying. And it's busier, more city feel, which is a pro for some people and a con if you want it to be quiet. Let me hit the schools question directly, because this is usually the question, and it's honestly where a lot of that $250,000 lives. Castro Valley Unified is an A-rated district, and Castro Valley High is ranked among the top public schools in California. San Leandro schools grades out at around the B range. Are San Leandro schools bad? No. They are good schools and dedicated teachers there. But I'm going to be straight with you, and my job is to be straight with you. Castro Valley has the edge, and it's not a small edge on paper. A big chunk of Castro Valley's price premium is families paying for that district. That's real, and it holds up over time because it also protects your resale value. Here's the flip side though. If your kids are grown, or you don't have kids, or you're planning on private school anyway, you might be paying a six-figure premium for a school district you'll never use. That $250,000 buys a lot of something else. So I was actually on a call last week with a family moving over from the peninsula, and this was their exact situation. Kids already in high school, 2 years from emptiness. On paper, they were Castro Valley buyers. Once we talked it through, they're now looking at the San Leandro Hills and keeping $250,000 in their pocket. That's why I say, text me your situation. Sometimes the right answer isn't the obvious one. So which one is actually right for you? Because they're not the same, not even close. Castro Valley is best if you want the schools, or schools are a top priority. If you want genuine small town life, if you want your kids to have that childhood where they roam the neighborhoods or neighborhood, if you value quiet and established over trendy and new, and if that back road access to the Tri-Valley or Fremont matters for your commute, Castro Valley. San Leandro is best for you if you want more walkability, waterfront access, and a real downtown. If you like neighborhoods with character that are actively transforming. If you want a more diverse community with more happening around you. And honestly, if you want to get into the East Bay without stretching to $1.1 million, San Leandro gives you entry points that Castro Valley just doesn't have anymore. So here's the reality. That $250,000 gap isn't Castro Valley being overpriced or San Leandro being a bargain. It's two different communities charging for two different things. One is charging for schools, quiet, and stability. The other is giving you city energy, range, and room to buy smart if you know where to look. Which one is right for you depends on what you actually want out of your life. Not what sounds good, what actually fits. If you're seriously looking at either of these towns, call me or text me. My number is in the description. I'm Mac Rogers.